Welcome back, my friends, to the BjjBrick Quick Podcast. This is the Quick Jiu-Jitsu Podcast. Just drag a topic onto the mat, roll a little bit, tap out or maybe not, send you on your way. My name is Byron, and today we're talking about keeping the enthusiasm going after years of training. Maybe you haven't trained for years. Maybe you've trained for decades. I don't know. But eventually, you get past that honeymoon phase where it's all you're thinking about, and it just becomes a part of your life. And it's just you don't want. It's hard to excel at something like jiu-jitsu if it's not something that's driving you. So you need that enthusiasm. And for me, there's been a few different ways, and I'll put the podcast and the website have been a way to keep some enthusiasm going and to meet some fun people. But I'll put that aside because most people don't have a podcast yet or a website right now. But the main things is, one of them is just the jiu-jitsu itself is fun or exciting. I have a joke that I tell people I'm around sometimes. If I get a compliment, I like, hey Byron, nice shirt. Typically, I people don't respond well to compliments, and I'm one of them. I was like, oh man, I just got it, this whole thing. I've changed that because it's not something that is nice to somebody who's trying to pay you a compliment. And so I will go, somebody go, hey Byron, nice shirt. I like the way it looks on you or whatever. I go, oh, go on. Like just jokingly, like, oh yeah, more of this. And it's been working pretty good. That type of response of kind of playfully and jokingly accepting a compliment. And then I will say I could live on a good compliment for 6 months. I could just go on and remember that one and think of how great it is. And I've kind of done that before. Like, somebody will say something nice to me, and I'll remember that for quite a while. And then when I put that, the shirt's a bad example because nobody compliments me on my shirts. But when I put that shirt back on, I'm thinking, yeah, I remember this was, well liked by my wife. This was a great shirt, whatever. So I can also live on a good roll in jiu-jitsu for 6 months, or a good experience, a good seminar. And I'm exaggerating with the 6 months, but if class is getting kind of boring or monotonous, find ways to breathe a little bit of life into it, have some fun. Find people to train with where you get off the mat and you feel like, this is what I want to be doing. This is great. And when you have those roles and those sessions, those seminars, maybe just think like I do. Like, I can live on this seminar. This seminar will keep me going for another 6 months, having a great time on the mats. That compliment will keep me smiling and having a good time and being social for another 3 or 4 months. It's just kind of play it up a little bit mentally and push that, because in reality, jiu-jitsu is very hard. It's very uncomfortable and it's physically demanding. But we do get some of those times, and maybe it's a tournament result. Hopefully you don't need that to keep going. Maybe it's a good, teaching somebody something. And that kind of gets me into the other thing. Sometimes it's the actual jiu-jitsu, and sometimes it's the people. So I could also, really enjoy and be enthusiastic about sharing jiu-jitsu. So if somebody asks me a question and I'm not great at a lot of things, but one of the things that I've gotten decent at is leg drag. So if somebody at the gym has a leg drag question, a lot of times it comes to me, and I'm helping show either how to defend a leg drag or how to do a leg drag or what to do after the leg drag, whatever. I really enjoy sharing my knowledge that I've gotten there. And a lot of times if you're asking questions about this, well, then maybe I'll learn something from them as well. But like the idea that you could help somebody is something that you should be able to be enthusiastic about. And so maybe you ride that for a few months. And I'm not saying that we need to be enthusiastic all the time about jiu-jitsu. If you're going to be doing this for a decade or several decades, there'll be times when you kind of you go because it's what you do. It's your routine. But when you recognize the times where you have a great class, a great session, and you think, man, this is awesome. I really love jiu-jitsu. Ride that for a little while. Keep that enthusiasm high. I'm no enthusiasm expert. I'm sure I've missed some things. How do you keep the enthusiasm going after years or after a few tough weeks or months? I'd like to know. Comment in this episode. If you have a topic you want me to cover, send it in. This one, again, was from our friend Peter from South Australia. Thank you kindly, my friend, for sending the topic suggestion. Peter sent this in. I added it to the queue. A little while later, here we are. Thank you very much. Until then, hopefully your enthusiasm stays strong and going well. If not, hopefully you find things that will get it going. And also stay sweaty, my friends.